Alright, so we're talking about the relationship between circles and triangles, and we're going to start off with talking about how to inscribe a circle. Well, if I inscribe a circle, that means that my circle is inside another shape. So if I had a triangle here, to inscribe a circle, my circle has to be drawn inside, and it touches each of the sides of it. And so the definition, the technical definition, is that the circle is tangent to each side of the polygon. And what the word tangent means is that it just touches it. So this would be the point of tangency, and this would be, and this would be. So when a circle is inscribed, that means it's drawn inside. So if you have a triangle, it doesn't matter what that triangle looks like, you can only inscribe one circle inside of it. There's no way to inscribe multiple circles. And the shortest distance from the center of the inscribed circle to the triangle's sides is the circle's radius. So what this part is talking about here is if I were to go from the center of the circle to the side, that distance would be my radius. That's what this is talking about, is that line right there. In order to inscribe a circle, the circle's center must be placed at the incenter of the triangle. Okay, it's probably been a while since you've talked about incenters, but incenters are the point where all of the angle bisectors meet. So if I have a triangle and I were to draw in my angle bisectors split the angle in half. So this would be an angle bisector, and this would be an angle bisector, and this would be an angle bisector. And you can tell they all meet right here. So this is called your incenter. And that would also be our center of our circle, because it's the incenter. So skipping to page 10, it says the incenter is the only point where all three angle bisectors meet. So it's important to note that the incenter is always inside the triangle. It's going to always be inside the triangle. It can never be outside. So we're going to skip on. It says, what's the difference between a circumscribed figure and an inscribed figure? So inscribed means it's drawn inside. Circumscribed means it's drawn outside. So if I wanted to circumscribe, so here's my triangle again, just like we had earlier. If I was going to circumscribe it, I would not draw a circle inside, I would draw a circle outside. So this would be a circumscribed. This would be a circle circumscribed around a triangle. So just like when you inscribed it, the center had a special name. It does the same here. So the point in the middle of this circle is called the circumcenter. Okay, and the circumcenter is the point where the perpendicular bisectors meet. So if I want to draw my perpendicular bisectors split the sides in half. So I'm going to draw another triangle. So here's my triangle. And I'm going to draw a perpendicular bisector, which means it's splitting it in half and it's perpendicular. So it would be here, and here, and here. Those would be my three perpendicular bisectors, and you can tell they intersect here. So this would be the center of my circle. So when I circumscribed my circle, it's going to touch all the sides, and it's going to look more like this. and this would be this approximately the center. Now we pretend because my drawings are terrible, but it kind of gives you an idea of what it should look like. So the circumcenter is the only point where all three perpendicular bisectors meet, and the shortest distance from the center of the circumscribed circle to the vertices of the triangle is the circle's radius. So again, here's my circumcenter, that's this point. Here's my circle that is circumscribed, and what that's saying is that this distance right here to the vertices is my radius. And this would be my radius, and this would be my radius as well. It's important to know that the circumcenter is sometimes falls outside the triangle. Sometimes it's inside the triangle, sometimes it's outside the triangle. It just kind of depends on how it's drawn. So a few things to remember is that when it's inscribed, the center is the in-center. The center of the circle is the in-center. When it's circumscribed, the center is the circumcenter. Hopefully that makes sense, because if you look at the words, inscribed, in-center, and circumscribed, circumcenter. Some things to remember about the in-center. First of all, it's where the angle bisectors meet. Secondly, it is always inside. And third, it is equidistant from each side. And then a few things to remember about the circumcenter. Number one, it's where the perpendicular bisectors meet. Number two, it's equidistant from each vertex, from the vertices, which means it's the same distance from all three of the vertices. And the third one actually falls into three pieces. Part A is that it's inside an acute triangle. It is outside an obtuse triangle. And it's on the hypotenuse in a right triangle. Remember we said that sometimes the circumcenter was inside, sometimes it was outside. This is how you know when it is what. And the very last thing I'll tell you, and it's something completely random, is that many shapes can be inscribed in a circle. Okay? Many shapes can be inscribed in a circle, but only one circle can be inscribed in a shape. That means if I had a circle like this, I could draw a bunch of different triangles in there. But if I had a triangle, I could only draw one circle inside of it.